Hello and welcome, beautiful people, to round number 769. I'm trying to learn and improve myself in programming. It is a long and slow process, and most of the videos on YouTube will create an impression that you will learn how to be a software engineer in a month if you can buy some magical resource for that. And it is bullshit. It takes a lot. And here I'm sharing my progress and my process in doing so. So I can see and uh, maybe judge for yourself how it is really. And hopefully we will have some fun on the way. So yeah, let's get into it. 3 minutes of typing exercise, 35 minutes of learning Angular. That's each round. And I'll start. Come on. Hey, Erickson. Learn how to be software engineer with this one simple trick. To show exactly. And that simple trick is to learn for years and still suck at it. Good. I was like, when I was outside, I cannot eat even today again. I don't feel, oh well, I will not complain. But when I was out, You did. 644. 644. Do you like it? Did you had a chance to play it yet? There's probably a delay on the stream, right? One, two, three, like 2 or 3 seconds. It's okay. Yeah, okay, so and we are going into this. So, and there's also like this thing which I wanted to talk about, and that was fuck. That was like the there's something which I like thinking about, and that is bad versus good, and and why the these words or concepts. I did, and I like it a lot, even though I usually don't enjoy that type of games. Yeah, it's done well. It's done well. It's done well. The playability is like, I don't know. They did good job in that. This is also like one of the topic uh, which I was thinking about. Bad and good, and you know, well, usually, those are just mental shortcuts in reality, right? And we already like spoke about it, uh, and that is, if you are a developer, a good thing is to spend like 8 hours in front of the computer, right? If you are top football player, spending 8 hours daily in front of the computer is not a good thing, right? So it is just a mental shortcut for like if that action leads to desired outcome, and then we say it's good, right? That action is good, but uh, we have to agree what the goal is, right? Goal for a programmer is to be good at programming, I suppose. And the goal for a football player is to be good or like excellent or being the highest paid football player on in that sport, right? And I actually think I was thinking about it, and I'm thinking that the word good and bad actually does more harm than it has benefits, you know. Uh, because then if you kind of like realize that, like what it is really, that word, like some trait or something have like the desired outcome, suddenly uh, everything breaks up in a way, like suddenly there's nothing like intrinsically good, right? It depends what your goal is, and that let's say that you want to be a good person, right? Or you think that you are a bad person. But uh, it's usually like when you ask someone like, okay, so what what is a bad person, right? He will tell you like, oh well, maybe I I am a bad person. That might be one of the answers, which doesn't leave you with like good mental state. But also like chasing like this goal of being like a good person or good developer or a good father or whatever can make you really unhappy because uh, if you chase it as a concept, you will not be able to determine if you are a good person, really, like measurably, right? So uh, you might be also like uncertain if you like reach the goal of being like good developer or good person, uh, right? Because even like if we take like the topic of like good developer, right? If you ask multiple different people what the good developer means, you will get different answers a lot of the time, uh, right? Sometimes they will say someone who produces the most code or delivers the feature the first. Someone else will tell you that it would be someone who actually don't produce legacy code and so on, right? So I was thinking about this experiment for myself, and that is to try avoid using the words good and bad uh, in my speech at all. That was the uh, that was the idea, right? And see what kind of benefits it might have. Because personally, I also like suffer from like thinking about myself that I'm bad in some like aspects, but it's like if you be feel like bad in something, it's like it's not really like you can touch it, right? You can point a finger at it or put a finger on it, right? So I was thinking that avoiding like the good and bad words and actually speaking about the goal, which is in mind, could actually help focus on solving the issues or actually like approaching the desired state uh, or the you know like the outcome. Yeah, it probably doesn't. It's not interesting to you whatsoever. I know. I just had that on my heart, so uh, I got it off, I guess. Just not use the good or or bad words. It might be like more difficult because even if I describe like a good IDE or bad IDE, it's kind of like handy, like, oh, use this, it's good, it's very good. But then, oh fuck, I was sharing my face and I thought I'm sharing this or whatever. Uh, Never mind. Let's continue in this. And currently, we are doing Angular, and we are looking at the host context, right? So let's start the thing. Yeah. And that's actually like also like sometimes like with these topics which are like too abstract, right? You don't even know where to start, right? Because it feels like you cannot really like do like simple action or say something simple which would address the whole problem, right? And actually think that this like complexity might be actually like artificial. Like even in my head, I'm not, you know, well, I'm not mean like in everyone's head. It's what I'm trying to say, including me, or I observe it at myself, that it might be uh like difficult topics, like especially like with the good and bad. Uh, well, some 17-year-olds type really fast, but I get you. And I think some of the like complexity actually comes from the confusion, like that it is not really thought through these concepts, right? So maybe like if I'm like looking at this, and then I would be like, because makes you think, right? This example, well, let's say I feel bad, you know, and I think that I'm bad developer because I don't learn fast enough, right? So then if you try to like quantify it, like what would be fast, right? Like, and then you can like uh say like, okay, so you have this like expectation, right? So how can you tell that you are doing it fast enough, right? How it would look like, right? For example, if you are learning something which you are not familiar at all with, or you did not meet in your life, uh, something similar to it, you will learn it slower, right? That's the thing. So it's really hard to determine in before you actually learn it how long it should take. Anyway, anyway, let's continue with this thing. It's useful apply styles outside of a competency. Okay. Okay. The host context pseudoclass selector, which works just like function form of host in any ancestor of the component host element app. Ah, so the host context selector is useful when combined with another selector. Following example applies background color to style to all H2 elements inside the component. Only if some ancestor element has the CSS class theme light. Okay. One of the things you have to realize in this field is that some things can take from 1 day to 2 weeks and you don't know until you try. Yes. That's, yeah. Let's try the host context, right? So it will be, okay, so we have the host context. If it has the theme light selector, it will change the color and that is, okay, color, show color picker, and that is EEF, oh fuck, EEF, and that's that, DDD, D00. Okay, so EEF is this kind of color. It's like gray. Okay. Hello, Knight. And what it looks like in the application. Like, where do we have... Okay, so if I do inspect, and now look at that, here's the theme light. Yeah. Find light app root. Has that class theme light. If I say activate, this will do. What the fuck? What does it mean? Okay, but it says background color. It's on H2 and how do I verify this? Well, first of all, maybe I could turn off this thing. Oh, okay, so it's here, huh? So if it has theme light and it was H1, it was H2. So we will look for H2. It should be somewhere in here. Yep, this is the guy. This is the guy. Also, I will change that rule to something which will be we will say red, so it's nicely visible. Okay, good. Okay, but we did change it in where? We are currently in, this is the hero details component, right? So if we have a look at the hero details, that's here. It didn't change it in, that did change it inside of it. So let's put in a root H2 as well. The app root, I think, has the inspect has the light theme, right? Or which one had the light theme? I'll search it in here. It will be faster. Light host context, yeah. I want to see it in the template somewhere. Host binding class get theme. Oh wow, what the fuck is this? This is something which I don't. Host binding class. Okay, so maybe this is. Okay, so the host would be the app root maybe, and on that we will get the theme light, or what is it? Or maybe it will put on the hero main. Because I don't know what the host binding does, but it seems like... Where is this used? The theme class. Okay, so we will try to find it. It's used only in here, nowhere else. What the fuck? Okay. So where is it in here? Theme light. Where the fuck are you? Oh, I'm searching in the wrong thing. So I do inspect here, and here I do theme. Hey, cheers. Okay, so this is the, okay, so ng hosts and so on. Okay, but here, app root, okay. So from this, I'm inferring that this guy here actually puts the class on the host element of this value. Okay, so that is on top, which means that our rule, right? That was where it was. That was some CSS. Yeah. So it is h2 inside of like theme light, right? Which means that here in the template, if I put another h2, h2, this should be red too, right? And it's not. Oh, this should be, to use Docker at, yeah, I did have tried it. I actually have, like, in one of my projects, I have a database in it, but I'm not using it at work. And this should be, I need to change the display type, right? Because, for example, this guy, if I do inspect, and it doesn't have the block thingy, inspect, it will, oh, I cannot disable it for fuck's sake. Or I can this inspect as background. Okay, color font. Yeah, display block. For the fuck's sake, why it doesn't change the color? Okay. I thought that that is how it works, and it's not. Oh wow, 50. You're kidding me. Hello, White Panther. I hope you had a great time at your stream. I did peek for the moment. And welcome. Welcome everybody. Pew pew pew. There's so much people. There's so much people. Okay, so hello beautiful people. Welcome to my channel. On the internet you saw, yeah, Corner 60 full. Yeah. It is a t-shirt I have been gifted. Yeah, which made me really happy. Yeah, here 80 80 80. No way, you did. Hey Alan, I was talking about you today and about your digital garden. I'm thinking I will create something similar, and just for me, you know. And yeah, here I'm sharing my my learning process. I'm learning programming on this channel, and on the internet, most of the sources kind of show or appear like you can learn it in a month when you pay the right amount of money to the right people, right? And that is totally bullshit. And I'm sharing my progress. So currently I have a session number 769. Each of the session takes about an hour or so. I have these timers, this is like where I train the typing, and here's like where I'm learning some techniques. Currently we are learning Angular, and yeah, there's that's all what is happening here really. And then we talk about like different stuff, and today I was philosophy. We were talking about stuff. Wanna become famous? Yeah, sure. Hold on, I will address that right away. So you earned. What is my nationality? Well, I have been born in Czech Republic. Yeah, 360 months. Wow. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay, so I will restart the timer for I will, yeah, unpause the timer for the current round. And what I'm trying to understand currently is like this host context, and we have this thing, and I thought that, you should be writing nete. What is nete? I don't know what is nete. And yeah, so this tells me, yeah, but here's like I don't choose my software or like anything really by the nationality of the developers. So I don't even know that is a thing, the Nete. I'm currently working in a Java, TypeScript, Angular, Spring, or at least I'm trying to. Yeah, that's what's happening. Pum, pum, pum. Styles based on conviction. Yeah, outside of components view, for example, could be applied to the document body. Okay, so based on that, when you have like this nested structure, right, of uh, okay, I thought it will be black. It's not. How come it's not black? God damn it. Fill, solid color, second color, black too. Here we go. Okay. So I thought that you have, oh, black is maybe not if you have, hold on, why it doesn't work? Because okay. So if you have this hierarchy of components, right, these are like nested somehow, and they are there and there, and you have like some structure like this maybe. This will be root. So I thought that if you, for example, in this guy over here, you will use the host context, I thought that it will like be applied in here and here too, right? And here we have the rule in the CSS, which says if I am identified correctly, if you have like anywhere there like something with a class of theme light, which our application uh, has has it at a root level, and you find it inside H2, you will change the background color to red. And I don't think that is happening in the application for some reason. And I should change it to, oh, hold on. Yeah, this is H2 too, right? So if I inspect it, you see it is H2, and now this should be red too, and it is not. So I'm a little bit confused. You know why it's not like that. This one is red. And I don't know why. So there's a red, and maybe if we have like immediate ancestor, like the light theme, then it works, but the immediate is up hero details. And that doesn't have that stuff in it, so I am confused. I am confused. Okay, so we will try something, and I will create another rule, and this will be this will be also host context, and we will say we will just h2, you know, and we will change the color to blue. It will be ugly, I know, but it will be visible, maybe, and it doesn't do shit. You are missing kappa. Or otherwise, that's pretty weird statement suggesting to choose your tools based on your nationality. Yeah. Yeah. But there are like some people, like in my current work, I have been told that by one of the IT guys that all open source is basically like sending your data to Soviet Union. Yeah, I have been told that like a few days ago. He probably didn't get the memo that the Soviet Union doesn't exist anymore. That that thing leaking the data to the communist countries. Could you point me to a reference or something? Did not get any response from him. No, there you go. Use the host context. Function form of the host. The host context selector looks like a CSS class in NX. In any looks for a CSS class in any ancestor of the component host element, any ancestors of the element host element up to the document root. Yeah. The host context selector is used to work combined with another selector. Well, the fuck. Okay, the following example is the background style to all H2 element inside the component Only if some ancestor element has the CSS class theme. Okay, so it's inside of this component, huh? I see. Okay, so maybe if we have that, and then, okay, so I'll delete this, and then I will create similar rule, but this will be for label, for example, and this will be, I don't know, magenta. Yeah, magenta. I know it will be ugly. And now we need to place inside of this component, right? So we are at the hero details component, right? This is the CSS. So, and here is the thing, right? So what was that label? This should, I forgot what it was. This should be of magenta color. And I don't want a background color. I want just color. Now I get it. Now I get it. Now I get it. Okay. If any of the ancestors, which is the root in here, and inside of this, yeah. Okay. I got it now. I got it now. Okay. So I think I did understood that. And the host that was the select giant to target all H2 element inside components view. No. There was a card for the usages. Fine. It's Alt F7. So Alt F7. Oh, but that pops this thing up. Okay. Cool. Okay, so we know this now. The host contexts, this kind of search for like anything which have the property inside of it, right? So if any of the ancestors has this, we will change the property of the H2 inside of that, right? Well, we can, you know. So this is like the condition. If any parent, you know, has this, you can use that. We can specify like which element they will be. Okay, so we did understand this. This is deprecated, which means we shouldn't look at it, I guess. Why is it deprecated? Deprecated means that it will not be used anymore, right? Or it shouldn't be used anymore because, I don't know, they will not support it in the future, I guess. Normally, apply only to the HTML in the component's own template. Applying ngd pseudoclass to any CS completely disables view encapsulation for that rule. Any style with ngd applied becomes a global style. Okay. Well, that's bullshit. Because if it's like totally global, you can put it in the global style sheet, right? Which is in here, styles, CSS, right? And those are the global styles. It is in the root, you know, component styles. That's the name of the project source, and we have it here. And this will be applied to everything, right? And to have it like hidden somewhere in the structure, in the project tree and all of the components somewhere in a file like here, which will then affect like everything over here, 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 and here. It's stupid. And here as well, I think, because it's like hidden, that doesn't make sense. Why would you want to do that? In order to scope the specified style to the current component and all its descendants. Okay. In all its descendants. Okay, now that makes. Be sure to include host selector before ngd. Okay, so sudo host ngdeep and then okay, so that would make sense then, this use. Deep and okay, so maybe this one is deprecated and this one isn't. The deep combinator also has aliases this and okay, so it's not. So what the hell? Angular deep deprecation. Ah, fuck. Why? Yeah, this is exactly what I want to see. Clarify information about deprecation of ngdeep and recommended replacement. So I understand Angular was using the browser support for piercing selectors, deep and triple those guys. But ngdeep is surely not supported by any browser. So this is from this element down, which would be in the drawing, which we had if we specify it in here, right? And we do host ngdeep, then it will be applied over here, over here, over here, and maybe, if we have like more elements in there, you get the idea, right? That one I get. Without ngdeep, this will be produced instead. nghost my button UI button text, and this is nghost my button. Then combinator is deprecated and support is being removed from major browsers and tools. As such, we plan to drop support in Angular for all three of deep, dead, and ngdeep. Until then, ngdeep should be preferred to be for broader compatibility with tools. Is that because Angular is in the background, like using those to actually when you use this in Angular, it does this in the background? That would be like the only like explanation which I can see right away. Which would be like, oh yeah, we will not have this, so yeah, tough luck. But otherwise, on the resolution to the current just leads user to search for alternative thing. To handful of yeah. Okay, so what is the last kind idea? Okay, this is something I don't understand. And it's like, okay. Rather than using global stars and having huge, yeah. Define the class on the component's container element, set the component, wrap all styles in the component with the class of component's container element. This allows you to style that library component differently. This looks like a thing, but I don't like the solution. We still have to add something in the children. Okay, whatever. Don't care. This guy says that we are done with this round. Done is better than perfect. And do I want to have another round? So I should be awake at 9. It's always like I don't want to start the learning and then I don't want to stop at the same time. Well, anyway, this round is done. So I'll stop the timer and the recording.